Welcome back, everyone, to Gym Challenge Sunday here, number 10. We're here with PAL Gaming. We have, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have championship points on the line. We got world's points on the line. This time I'm actually joined by PAL's very own Fro. How are you doing?
Hi, everybody. I'm having a blast. It's my first time kind of hanging out at a full-on Pokemon Gym Challenge Sunday event, but obviously everybody here is a bunch of fierce competitors we have on hand, and we have one of our best players coming up in this very next match. Isn't that right, Nova?
Yes, it is. We do have Brandon Davis on screen here, and it looks like he's going to go up against Enrique Grimaldo. And this is interesting teams we're seeing on both sides. For Brandon Davis, we have Iron Valiant, Chien Pao, Chi-Yu, Dragonite, Iron Treads, and for Rigaraf. And for Enrique, we have Iron Hands, Dondozo, Glimora, Tatsugiri, Grimmsnarl, and Rotom Heat. What do we make of the situation?
So when it comes to the Iron, do any of the two Iron Pokemon kind of offset one another? Like, is it like just like one of those like rock paper scissors kind of situations where you kind of don't want to like go with one if you see the other out on?
No, they don't counteract with each other.
Oh. Well, I've heard a lot about Dondozo. That character, that Pokemon's reputation extends itself way beyond the niche of the VGC community, right?
It's one of the more hated Pokemon because of the way it interacts with Tatsugiri.
Yeah, can you explain that?
So Tatsugiri's ability is Commander. When both Dondozo and Tatsugiri in play, Tatsugiri enters Dondozo's mouth, becomes immune to any and all attacks, and gives Dondozo +2 stats to 5 to attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed at the same time.
Wow, that is quite the boost, man.
And Tatsugiri is immune to every attack, as long as Dondozo is in play. However, the drawback is that Dondozo cannot switch out. 3 seconds in for both team players to lock in, and both players are locked in, loaded. We are going to start round number 3 of Gym Challenge number 10 between Brandon Davis and Enrique Grimaldo.
So we've heard that Brandon's a pretty strong player, but is this your first time seeing Enrique play?
It is my first time seeing Enrique play. I've seen Brandon before, and we're going to get the perspective here from Brandon Davis. So we're going to see Enrique's Pokemon come out first. It's going to be Rotom and Tatsugiri for Enrique, and for Brandon, it's going to be Iron Valiant and Chi-Yu.
Do either of these players' team comps immediately have any kind of... Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, we do see a booster energy activating for Iron Valiant. It's going to be a stat multiplier. It's going to be a speed boost due to Iron Valiant. So now it's going to be faster than every Pokemon in play right now.
That's wild because it looks so tall. You wouldn't expect it to be that fast, but
we do see a Terra Water coming in from the Iron Valiant. You know, I know Brandon didn't use it yet, but Terra Water on the Iron Valiant, you know, can catch a couple Pokemon off guard, especially that Rotom Heat, which is weak to that water type attack. But we do see this Iron Valiant is actually a mixed attacker with both Close Combat and Moonblast. As Enrique switches out Tatsugiri, I think this might be for Iron Hands. No, it's going to be Glimora coming in.
This is a turn 1 swap, is that right?
Yes, it's a turn 1 swap.
That's wild.
Yeah, and Rotom going to protect here, not trying to be aware of any incoming damage heading its way. Iron Valiant goes into the Close Combat, but it does go into the protect of the Rotom, so no damage coming in for that Close Combat. Chi-Yu will go for the Dark Pulse. It also went to the Rotom.
Oh, that's interesting. Enrique managed to protect his Pokemon that he thought was going to be at serious disadvantage, and instead Brandon targeted the other one. Yeah,
and just because Enrique thought Tatsugiri was going to be in a big load of trouble. We've been seeing that Iron Valiant does have that Moonblast attack, which is super effective against it because it's a water dragon type, but at the same time, Chi-Yu already has a lot of damage thanks to the strong special attack stat and the Beat to Ruin ability. But we do see
it could have been really bad for Enrique. He could have been completely behind the ball by losing, you know, one full turn, basically, by having to do the swap, but instead, it's almost kind of like he was able to reset.
We see a Terra Blast going to come in from the Iron Valiant, going to turn that water type, hopefully to catch that Rotom off guard. But at the same time, we do know that the Chi-Yu is Choice Scarf thanks to the information on the screen and the Chi-Yu. So Chi-Yu is locked into that Dark Pulse until it switches out, as we're going to see Iron Valiant transform into that water type.
Put a hat on it.
I mean, it's a nice fountain hat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no Protect coming in, so the Iron Valiant going to hit that Terra Blast for water. Will it be enough to knock out the Rotom? Let's find out and see. It is not. He goes for the Dark Pulse into the Glimora. How much damage? It's not going to do over 50% health. Oh, it misses the Overheat onto the Iron Valiant. And Mortal Spin going to connect on both Pokemon. And this will poison both Iron Valiant and the Chi-Yu.
That was doing some long-lasting damage, but that Overheat missing must be a heck of a blow to Enrique's plans.
It is, because you miss on a lot of valuable damage, even though it did become resistant to overheat thanks to the fire.
I thought overheat's accuracy was pretty good.
It's 90 right now. It's 90.
Oh, that's still fine. I would kick myself if I didn't get the accuracy on a 90 accuracy move. Even I know that's supposed to work. I stopped playing competitively in Gen 2. I'm an old man.
A lot of these Pokemon do tend to have moves that miss from time to time, but when they miss, they hit you hard.
Still able to use Glimmora to get the poison going as well, so at least a little bit of exchange. Here we go.
You do see Spiky Shield coming in from the Glimmora, so it will be protecting itself from that Terra Blast from the Iron Valiant, which would have went into the Glimmora. Instead, it's going to go ahead and protect itself from any incoming damage.
Because it's a physical move, categorizes that.
And the Dark Pulse goes into the Rotom, and it will knock it out. Poison damage we're going to take in, but Spiky Shield, if anything were to contact that Spiky Shield for the protect, if it went for in contact, it would have taken damage. But Terra Blast right now is a special attack, so it's not taking damage. And, oh, we see Iron Hands. There's no Dondozo for Enrique. Instead, we're going to see Iron Hands come in, and I'm wondering what this Tatsugiri can do now without the Dondozo.
This Iron Hands is out here trying to see if anybody wants to catch these hands. I love the fact that Hariyama is an actually viable character. That's a Gen 3 Pokemon. Let's go old Pokemon. Yeah.
I mean, his Iron Hands does threaten to one knockout onto the Chiyu thanks to the Fire Dark type now being weak to fighting.
I'm just like imagining that Iron Hands is just Hariyama piloting a mech, like from Gundam.
That's an interesting reference. But the Glimmora, I mean, the Glimmora already went for the protect. Oh, yeah, it's not going to protect it again. Here's a Moonblast.
Moonblast, yeah.
Oh, wait, I think it was expecting a Terastallization onto the Glimmora, but instead, no Terastallization comes out, and we're going to see the Citrus Berry come in for Glimmora, restoring his health by 25%.
Yeah, I mean, like, Iron Valiant isn't really in trouble of getting any of the Spike Shield damage.
Sludge Bomb also going to come into the Chiyu, not enough damage. Drain Punch also to the Chiyu, will knock it out.
That's a 1-2 punch, literally, from Enrique's Pokemon to take care of the Chiyu. I was going to say, Iron Valiant doesn't really have to worry much about Glimmora's passive, or at least the
Spiky
Shield at all. Just why would he use close combat? It's the only thing that he could use to interact with that.
Iron Tread's coming in for Brandon now. This is a Pokemon we rarely see in this day and age, as he's normally outshined by his ancient ancestor, Great Tusk. Both of which descendants of Donphan.
That's right. It's also another Gen 2 Pokemon, which actually showed up in the first Pokemon movie. If that's a fact.
Well,
I'm so old.
Okay, well, Glimmora can go for another Spiky Shield should it choose to, but I'm wondering what the Iron Hands does here for Enrique. It could go for something like that Wild Charge to knock out the Iron Valiant, but it could also Drain Punch the Iron Treads too.
I know that he's Iron Hands, but those hands look so soft. I'd probably give you a nice hug. Would you accept a HUD from Iron Hands?
Iron Tread's going to protect, so Iron Tread's not going to take any protective damage. Also, I think he would have been electrocuted on top of that. Yeah, we do see Spiky Shield come in from the Glimmora.
Fair.
So if it went for the close combat, no, it went for a Terra Blast. It went into Iron Hands.
You feel like Enrique's stuck doing the Spiky Shield with Glimmora and not able to take advantage of the rest of the character's kit?
Oh, I mean, that's pretty interesting to say about that. And there's a Drain Punch into the protective Iron Treads. More poison damage from the Iron Valiant. And actually, I just noticed this, but in this team sheet, Glimmora is actually not the Toxic debris ability. It actually is Corrosion. So, Corrosion is a special ability where it can poison even Steel types.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's cool. That's a sick passive.
And yeah, and I actually think it's very smart for Brandon not to go for close combat anywhere near on the Glimmora, because close combat is the direct contact move, and
yeah,
it would take a damage from the Spiky Shield. But now it's risky to go for a Spiky Shield because now it has a chance to fail because you cannot use it in succession.
I want to see more from these Iron Treads, man.
Moonblast coming into the Iron Hands, takes a decent amount of damage. Iron Tread's going for an Earthquake on his own Pokemon. It will knock out the Glimmora. It takes a...
Oh my gosh, he took out both.
He took out both, and the Iron Valiant sadly is going to go down to his own poison. And that leaves Enrique with just his Tatsugiri.
That is a brutal... I was waiting for the Iron Treads to pop off, and he did.
Yes, it did. Down goes the Iron Valiant. I think I saw Brandon have a...
It's a noble sacrifice in Brandon's Iron Valiant in order to give him the significant advantage here.
As a Qian Pao comes into play here, Qian Pao and Iron Shad's likely going to finish off this battle for Brandon, as Enrique sends out his Tatsugiri, very susceptible, and including Qian Pao's Sword of Ruin ability, weakening the defense of all Pokemon in play.
That's a small fish. These two look like they're gonna fry.
Yeah, this is not a good situation for Enrique at all. This probably is the end of the game. I have to wonder, I'm pretty sure Enrique could have handled this battle a little bit better than he did, but... right, Enrique's not terrestrialized yet. What is his Tatsugiri? Oh, it's a steel-type terrestrialization coming in from the Tatsugiri.
Let's see what kind of hat he's got. Ooh, it's a big hat. With a hat? What?
It's a steel-type axe.
It's so goofy.
Here's the Ice Spinner coming into the Tatsugiri. Ooh, almost does half damage, but not going to be enough to take out the Stomping Tantrum. Covers the terrestrialization perfectly. It's a one-hit knockout from both Pokemon. Tatsugiri is down, and Brandon's up 1-0.
So if he had terrestrialized, would the ice have been super effective?
No, it was neutral. It's a water and dragon type, like King Dragon.
Okay. That's almost perfect coverage that I was looking for, but still, nevertheless, I just feel like Enrique just, like, Brandon set him up. Like, I mean, I know we're talking about maybe we could have seen Enrique have some more better developed counterplay, but that earthquake, I don't know how he would have really been anticipating that, you know?
Yeah, maybe it might have been a good idea to do gamble on that double protect from the spiky shield, but again, do you want to risk that 33% chance to succeed or 66% chance to fail?
I know. Pika. What was that, Pikachu?
Don't worry,
you love me? I love you too.
Anyway, I'm actually wondering from Enrique, does he go full on into the Dondozo? Because I'm a little surprised he didn't have the Dondozo in the back at all.
Yeah, we were talking about that to start. We also didn't see the Grim Snarl, I think. I don't really feel like Brandon has cause to really change up his lineup either. Do you?
I don't think so, because as long as everything's been working in his favor, you know, that Terra Blast from Iron Valiant being a direct counter to the Rotom. Also, it has great damage onto the Glimmora too. It's just at the end of the day, it's also. Wait, I'm gonna get this again. Okay, well, Brandon does have a way to stop the Dondozo with the Haze and the Qianpao as both players lock into game 2. I'm wondering if Enrique actually does go for the Dondozo.
That's a good point, man. But I mean, he has options. Let's see what he wants to do. He may just stick with the Rotom and maybe just think that one overheat actually connecting might have been the difference from him being able to take advantage in that first game. So,
well, we do see the Rotom as well as the Dondozo.
Yep.
And it's going to be Iron Valiant Qianpao for Brandon. So we are going to see the Sword of Ruin defense drop effect immediately, and Iron Valiant going to get a speed multiplier.
Dang. Fast warrior.
It was trained to be fast. That's how the multipliers work.
So to set up Dondozo perfectly, you actually start with the Rotom instead of Tatsugiri?
No, to set up the Dondozo, you need to have Tatsugiri in play at the same time.
So is it weird that you started Rotom?
It is not weird, because it actually can switch out using. It can either hard switch out into the Tatsugiri to activate the commander, or Rotom somehow gets knocked out, which I don't think Enrique wants. But this is a weird position for both players, if I'll be real. Iron Valiant going to protect.
Go withstand at least this first volley. Double protect.
Wants to see what Enrique goes for here. Maybe trying to ban up the Tatsugiri to switch in, but Rotom protects.
We're all protected.
I don't think those are protected. I see what you go for here.
4 protects. Oh my gosh. We're rolling in the deep with protects.
But Dondozo's protect failed, so if he goes for it again, it'll actually succeed.
True, but now he might just, I mean, with the RPS that's inherent to Pokemon, he might not think to go protect again. Or maybe we'll get 4 more protects. Why not?
No, I saw Brandon go for the terrestrialization.
And there goes the Rotom coming out. So that again, this is the second straight game.
There's the Tatsugiri coming in.
Yeah, this is the second straight game where Enrique has had to make an early swap for one of his Pokemon.
And here we go, Commander Dondozo. Tatsugiri's gonna go inside Dondozo's mouth, giving it the big +2 boost to all of its stats, making it quite a fearsome opponent. However, I did see the Iron Valiant go for a terrestrialization here. I'm wondering if that was a Terra Blast into what was the Rotom, and if it does go that way, it's gonna be a very bad turn for Brandon.
There we go. Terrestrializing to Ice type again.
Water.
A water type again.
Did it go for the Terror Blast into the Rotom slot? Oh, it did! No, it could have missed.
That's a tough one.
Oh, to read there, there's the haze there. So the Dondozo boosts are all gone. And Earthquake comes from Dondozo, but because the boosts are gone, it is now doing neutral damage. That is not scary at all.
But he also saves his own partner from being hit to the side as well. That's smart.
The problem now for Enrique, Dondozo is trapped. He cannot switch out. So Dondozo is stuck here trying to do as much damage as he can. It did respectable damage to both the Iron Valiant and Qianpao, but it's definitely a lot less than he wants. Sucker Punch gonna go into Dondozo. Ooh, decent damage. Moon Blast as well. Not enough. An order up into the Iron Valiant. It is not enough. We'll get an attack boost for his troubles.
Yeah, but he's facing against two opponents that are gonna be faster than him this turnaround as well. The Dondozo's cooked. Enrique's got to figure out what he's going to do afterwards.
And fun fact, if Dondozo gets knocked out, Tatsugiri will not be able to attack as soon as it gets out of the mouth.
Oh, he has to wait that whole turn?
Yes, it has to wait that whole turn. Oh, yeah, there's a protect coming in from the Dondozo. Wants to recover a bit more HP thanks to that leftovers. And we see Moonblast. Oh, we actually did not see a Sucker Punch from the Qianpao this time. Did it go for the Ice Spinner? It did go for the Ice Spinner. And I think he wants to knock at the Dondozo first, and then Ice Spinner the direct target next to it.
This didn't work out, and Enrique getting a reprieve. That should have been the end of Dondozo, honestly.
I mean, I'm not sure if Dondozo recovers enough HP to survive both attacks. Oh, close combat gonna come in. Still will get the knockout.
Yeah, here we go.
Tatsugiri gonna escape Dondozo's mouth, but it will be into the face of an Ice Spinner, and on top of the Sword of Ruin drop. How much damage would this Ice Spinner do? Here it goes. Whee!
One hit KO. Oh,
wow. Man. Enrique's getting destroyed this game.
The Ice Spinner's got a buzzsaw cutting through Enrique's game plan. The speed boost, the strength of the attacks, the type matching. Brandon's really got so many of his bases covered, and Enrique, again, just falling behind the ball for the second game in a row.
Yeah, we do know about the Rotom in the back, and now we see Iron Hands as his last Pokemon. And this Iron Hands, it does have Fake Out, so it can flinch one of these two Pokemon should it choose to.
He has to do something to deal with the speed boost because Brandon's just overwhelming his set play with speed.
I mean, that Haze Call was probably the biggest turnaround for Brandon because if he didn't get the Haze out, that Dondozo was actually going to threaten a lot of damage. But now we're in a situation where Iron Hands probably will be blasted by a Moonblast. Oh, yeah, there's a Protect. Doesn't want to get hit with the Fake Out anytime soon. Did the Fake Out go into the Qianpao, though? And nope, we're actually going to stay double.
Oh, man. Hopefully he didn't use the Fake Out because you really only want to... Oh, he did!
I mean, he kind of had no choice to do it, though.
It's just brutal. Like, just the amount of speed at Brandon's command between his two Pokemon right now. It's just not something Enrique, he's constantly having to play catch-up, and it's just not working. And
that's the problem, because he had almost no choice but to go for that Fake Out, because if he didn't go for that Fake Out into the Iron Valiant, it would have... I think it would have fainted to it, and then...
The funny thing is like, the first turn of the game was Enrique trying to think 2 steps ahead, and that was like the everybody does Protect turn. And ever since then, he's been stuck playing second fiddle to Brandon's speed. He needed something like a Trick Room or something here in order to like reconfigure the setup so that he would actually be able to attack first, because he just cannot touch the Iron Valiant, and the Qianpao is cutting a swath through his team.
And here we go. Enrique still has the Terrestrialization. I'm pretty curious to see where this goes. Is Iron Hands here? Is Iron Hands now going to transform into a Fire type?
See, he might be able to take out Qianpao in one blow.
I mean, this does resist Moonblast now, being it's a Fairy typing. Rotom is going to Protect. Doesn't want to get hit by the Terra Blast anytime soon, I believe. Grimaldo goes for the Sucker Punch and it went into the Rotom.
Oh, all right.
Close combat into the Protect as well. Whoa, that was a very greedy play from Brandon. Let's see if Enrique capitalizes on his punishment. Drain Punch into the Iron Valiant, and it down goes.
That is the first piece of good news for Enrique this entire game too. Able to finally dispose of the Iron Valiant. But, I mean, we got to see Brandon definitely. You know, he was able to stick behind his initial pairing for a very long time. This Iron Treads, and he was willing to just go for the Gusto and go for the Earthquake last time. I don't know if Enrique has what it takes in order to withstand it this time around.
I don't think so, because first of all, Rotom has Levitate, so it's going to ignore every ground type attack in game. So However, it's still doing super effective damage to the fire type Iron Hands because electric and fire still have the same weakness though. So
well, that's part of it. Is like he might just try to use the Shannon Power to finally dispose of the Rotom, but
yeah, we see Champ Power protect. Iron Tread's actually going to be faster than the Iron Hands here. Big damage for the Stomping Tantrum. Overheat connects onto the Iron Treads. It should be a one-hit knockout, and it is. And that's what happens when you actually connect your overheats.
and Brandon just thought he might be able to withstand there with the Iron Treads, but wasn't able to take care of the Iron Hands, much less withstand the heat. And if you can't handle the heat, Nova, you gotta get out of the kitchen.
And no, we have more heat coming in. Chi-Yu gonna come in now.
Fire typings.
And the Beads of Ruin gonna go to special defense of all Pokemon in play. But I actually think this could be the end of the game because Chi-Yu has a Choice Scarf item. So the Choice Scarf multiplies the speed by 1.5, making it the fastest thing in play right now. Once again, Brandon has a speed advantage.
And then that seems to be the story of Brandon's team, is speed kills. I'm gonna overwhelm you.
And then, oh, I don't know why he went for the fake out. He doesn't know. Wait, I think I know what he's doing. Yeah, there you go. Avoids the Sucker Punch entirely.
Oh wow.
Dark Pulse. Oh, Brandon didn't fall for the bait. Oh, that Dark Pulse is not enough for a knockout. Here's the overheat into a focus.
That should be the Shin Pal going bye-bye.
It is going bye-bye, but here is your biggest problem now. Rotom's a -4 special attack, meaning its damage is going to do so much less. And this Iron Hands, even though it did avoid the Sucker Punch, is still prey to this Chi-Yu.
I mean, he can at least try to protect for a while. And hope.
Dark Pulse into the Iron Hands.
Iron Hands going bye-bye.
And now Enrique's fate falls into the -4. The -4 Rotom is probably going to go for a Thunderbolt.
Maybe try to go for Paralyze.
Yeah, it's going to do very little damage. Look how little damage that did. Oh,
we got the Paralyzing. Oh my gosh. I called it.
Okay, but
Terry's curse.
But here we go. He needs a lot of paralysis and a critical. Enrique needs a lot of luck to win this game. Rotom protects. I think I know what he's protecting. He wants to stall out the Dark Pulse as long as he can because he's stuck using Dark Pulse. If he runs out of moves with Dark Pulse, it's going to struggle.
What's the PP on Dark Pulse?
It should be 16 at max.
Oh, God. Okay, just never Thunderbolt. Alright.
Oh, there's a paralysis.
Yeah, that's interesting. Can Enrique nickel and dime his way to victory, Nova?
It's gonna be, yeah, as I said, it's gonna take a lot of luck for Enrique to win the game right now.
Yeah.
And I mean crazy amount. Like a critical hit can even do the game. Yeah, he's doing the.
But how many more protects does he have left?
I think it should be 11 more. But he's like interchanging between each of them, so I think he's in the better. I still think Brandon's in a good advantage though.
Oh, because Brandon just needs one Dark Pulse in order to cook this microwave.
Another Thunderbolt.
Is it a rice cooker?
Oh my God!
Brandon is definitely it's almost like Groundhog's Day for him.
Every other turn.
And he played such a.
Oh wait, he didn't protect this time. Now he's under 50%. Dark Pulse goes off. How much damage is it doing? Not enough. Just half HP.
Half. Enrique now has to think about it.
Another Thunderbolt.
It's just not strong enough. You have to hope.
Oh my God! Another paralysis.
Man. This is like a Gen 1 situation. Did my BM strategy work? The protect? Enrique knows.
Oh, that's actually a good paralysis for Brandon. It didn't use Dark Pulse, so he bought himself a turn. So it bought himself a turn because it didn't move at all. Rotom Thunderbolts again. What's gonna happen?
No critical hit either.
Another paralysis!
Oh my gosh.
Is Enrique really gonna win this game off this Rotom just getting paralysis? Protects again! Brandon needs a paralysis here. He needs it here. Otherwise, he's losing out.
Oh my gosh.
Again, that was a beneficial paralysis there.
Yeah. But.
Why are we 50-50 on the paralysis being good and bad?
I mean, just the flip of the coin, man. But this might be it for Enrique.
Thunderbolt comes in.
It's not
Do we see a critical hit?
Kill.
No, it is not. The next one will. Oh my God!
Oh my gosh!
Enrique's actually gonna win this game. So much luck needed to happen. Oh my God! We're never gonna hear the end of this. We're going to game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
That was the most grinded out, grimy way to win I can't believe that happened.
Oh my god, what a way to go to game 3. How did Enrique pull this off?
Well, I mean, the name of the game for Brandon's team and his team comp is speed, and if there's only one way to control that speed, and that is to grind the action to a halt. Great job by Enrique. More power to him. That should never have gone to game 3, but that's why they play the game. No, but that's why they play the game.
Yeah, now we're going to game 3. I wonder if we're going to see any switch up from both these trainers, I know that game 2 was very much luck riddled, but...
What's that, Pikachu? You liked it when he did Thunderbolt? I did too. Did you like it when he did Thunderbolt for the 15th turn?
I'm actually wondering if Dragonite even comes in now for Brandon because of that paralysis, unfortunately. Because Dragonite...
No way. You cannot force yourself off of the strategy that was working so well just because you lost that many flips of the coin. And it's just not possible. Again, like, he's gotten Enrique flustered and on the back foot both of these games. He just needs to go for it and step on his neck and get lucky with some of his calls. That's it.
I mean, we are seeing him potentially leading on to Iron Valley for the 3rd game in a row. Iron Valley's been doing a lot of work, strangely enough.
Yeah, look at that. Brandon's just like, no, we're running it back. Running it back in full. And it's up to Enrique to see if he's going to do anything differently.
Enrique is locking in his team. We're going to a unconventional game 3, as most people would say right now. Definitely got the crowd's reaction, too.
The crowd definitely hyped to see some game 1 or Gen 1 plotting action. Let's go throwback to bad gameplay. Oh, we are seeing a little bit different here from Grimaldo, or from Enrique. He's going to go with the Grimmsnarl.
We are going to see the booster energy come in again. Now, this Grimmsnarl is very much the typical defensive variant, so its prankster ability will increase the priority of non-damaging moves, and it has 3 of them. Light Screen, Reflect, and Taunt. Light Screen and Reflect increased... Oh, we lost the capture card! Let me go ahead and reiterate. Okay, so Light Screen increases special defense for potentially 5 turns, and then Reflect increases physical defense for 3 turns.
Yeah, just hold on.
For 5.
Nah, for sure. Hold on tight with those folks, just trying to sort.
And then it's also holding the Light Clay item from this team sheet, so instead of being 5 turns defenses, it's going to be 8. Maybe the defenses is what he needs.
Yeah?
Okay, we're back online. Let's go.
Having that active for 8 turns is definitely something.
He's not locking moves. So here's a Protect coming in for Iron Valiant. I'm wondering what the Grimmsnarl did here. Did he go for a Reflect? Okay, no, we're seeing double Protect. This is probably a free turn for Grimmsnarl to get a setup. Let's see. Iron Hands goes to the Fake Out. That probably have no choice.
It's not being able to get the full speed advantage that Fake Out move. Reflect in order to get set up.
And so now physical defenses are increased for Enrique for 8 whole turns. I'm wondering if that's enough time to buy Enrique the time he needs to set up the Dondozo Glimora and Dondozo Tatsugiri in the back if he has it.
We're seeing a swap here?
No, yeah, it's like, what does Brandon do here? Knowing that he got increased defenses and that Grimmsnarl could also get up a Light Screen this very turn before Iron Valley can even attack. It's just Brandon's built for speed. It's just like, what happens when speed goes into the problem of Light Screen and Reflect?
Oh, it's like Brandon's gonna try to avoid it entirely. To give himself water hat.
Oh no, it's Janpao gonna harass those eyes. It's like, yeah, Janpao flying.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, it does avoid the fighting weakness, but Iron Hands is also an electric type, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. Oh, Enrique terrestrialized too.
Let's see what type he went to.
It's probably the Iron Hands to fire again, and it is. That Iron Hands looking pretty nice like a chandelier right now.
Yeah, they're both anticipating some moves, decided to try to pivot in order to...
There's Light Screen. So the Light Screen going to reduce Moonblast's damage significantly alongside... Oh yes, perfect call out. Now it's resisted. Very little damage to the Assault Vest and the Light Screen. Special attract drop for the Iron Hands. Will not matter though. There's the Ice Spinner also into the Iron Hands.
That's also not very effective because of that terrestrialized. Good job by Enrique. For the first time in this set...
Oh!
You could actually argue that Enrique's finally gotten the drop on Brandon. Maybe that the chance that Game 2 gave him is something he's to be able to build on here in this Game 3, Nova.
Yeah, we saw how much that Iron Hands did with that wild charge into the Iron Valley. Maybe we expected that to terrestrialize, but it still is almost enough to get a one-hit knockout, which is still a threat to the Qianpao because of the flying type.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Nova. If somebody terrestrialized you and gave you a hat, which hat would you want?
Give me the fairy hat. As we see, Dondozo going to go into the game now for that Iron Hands.
That's an interesting call. Was Iron Hands that big of a liability out there?
I don't think so, but he wants to preserve it for a later purpose. Iron Valley going for the close combat into the Dondozo, takes decent amount of damage.
That's surprising. That was even with the light screen active, right?
Reflect.
Oh, reflect active, yeah.
Foul play into the protect of the Qianpao. So, I'm just going to assume you're not familiar with foul play, aren't you?
No.
So foul play does more damage based on your opponent's attack stat. The higher it is, the more damage it'll do.
And because people are incentivized to raise the attack stats on their characters if they're encountering folks with reflect and light screen out. That makes sense.
Yeah, this Grid Star's more for a supportive role, so it's it's just taking advantage of your opponent's Pokemon against them.
Yeah, the only thing about that, setup is that you have one attacking move, so you better hope that you don't run against a Pokemon's resistant to foul play.
And it is going to be there is a Pokemon resistant to foul play, not a Chi-Yu.
Yeah.
And Grimaldo asking a sweatshot too. Is this Tatsugiri?
Wow.
Is this Tatsugiri?
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it's Rotom.
That is a surprise, right?
Yeah, it is a surprise. No Tatsugiri. Moonblast.
Oh, for that Moonblast into the Rotom. Oh my gosh.
So little damage with that light screen. Dondozo goes for Earthquake, so that Levitate will avoid it, but it will do a lot of damage to that Chi-Yu. How much damage will we be doing? Just half.
Wow.
And we did see the Iron Paladin go down, but that was probably a given.
That was a lot. That was a slay of hand from Enrique. He was like, oh, you thought that was my team makeup? Well, here's what I'm actually doing to you right now. And the reflect and the light screen still exists on the stage, even though Grimmsnarl was removed, right?
Yeah, because it stays in play for 8 whole turns.
For the entire team.
For the entire team. And Qianpao comes back in. Still not... Well, this is probably a little bit questionable from Brandon, but like, what other choice do you have? I think we saw the Iron Valiant on the screen.
So early on, we had seen that Brandon's speed had allowed him to disrupt a lot of Enrique's set play ideas.
Rotom goes for the protect here.
Yeah, the protect's going to work there. And it just seems like Enrique's actually figured out a way to force the game into the way he wants it to be played. Yeah, that's pretty remarkable.
It is, and double protect coming in from Enrique, so the Sucker Punch is going to fail, and Dark Pulse is going to be the choice lock for the Chi-Yu. It's also going into the Dondozo, as it's recovering more health back thanks to that leftovers item.
I'm not going to lie. When I see double protect out there for your team, it just feels like, we just literally mulligan to turn. Is that what it is?
It's a mulligan in a turn, but also you want to find out what your opponent's doing.
Yeah, you might be at least able to anticipate some kind of swap, I guess. But now let's see what this big old bass is going to do.
Okay. So we have 4 turns left of Reflect. We have 5 more for Light Screen, thanks to the counter there. This Dondozo has Earthquake and order up as its attacks. Earthquake probably not your best option because Qianpao will avoid it to the flying typing.
Flying type, yeah.
But it might be a good idea to switch over to Rotom because you might want to knock out the Qianpao without order up as Iron Hand's going to come back into play.
Wait, did you see Enrique in the player cam? Did he make a mistake?
Sucker Punch goes into the Dondozo, not going to do a lot of damage. We're going to see there was a mistake. Dark Pulse also to the Dondozo. Has a chance to flinch here. It flinches!
Oh, brutal. But you know what? Here's what I'm thinking. I think Enrique might have input Earthquake. That's why I saw him holding his face for a second there. I was like, wait, what happened there?
Well, if he did go for that Earthquake, at least he flinched.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But it would have knocked out the Chi-Yu, but how much damage would that have done to his own Iron Hands?
That's what I was thinking, but hey, I think he's willing to take it. He has maybe one more chance here with the Dondozo, but with how fast the Chi-Yu and the Qianpao are, if Brandon decides to go for the Gusto and target Dondozo, this might be the last turn for the big Windfish, which isn't actually a wind type, but it looks like the Windfish.
Fake out.
Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, but no fake out from the Iron Hand is going to take this Sucker Punch to his face. Dark Pulse also to the Iron Hand, but Dondozo has a free turn to do something. But
that's interesting.
Order up into the Qianpao, and not going to do half damage. Drain Punch into the Chi-Yu, going to knock it out, restore some health back in the process.
That's a big one for the Iron Hands. and Brandon's now. That was interesting. Like Brandon pivoted to try and take out the Iron Hands. Was he like anticipating like a critical hit in order to like take care of the?
No,
Iron
I
Hands
think
or
no. He was anticipating a protect from the Dondozo more than likely.
Oh, okay.
That's the mind case you had to play with protect. But now Brandon is down to his last 2 Pokemon: a Terraflying Chien-Pao, and an Iron Shreds now coming into play. But
and the Rotom with the overheat still waiting in the wings too, which I bet Enrique is thinking about when he wants to go for that.
But also, Brandon's pretty free to Earthquake thanks to that flying type on the Chien-Pao.
It's. I'm not even thinking about the Earthquake. I'm thinking about what could. Oh, you're thinking Brandon could go for the Earthquake. Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. We might see him go 2 for 1 here.
I mean, it probably would not get the Dondozo.
Was Iron Shreds fast enough to?
Iron Hand's gonna switch probably in a Rotom to avoid the Earthquake.
Yeah.
That Levitate. No, it's Grimmsnarl gonna come in.
Maybe he wants to set up again, light screen and reflect barriers again.
Oh, protect coming in.
Because he might be anticipating double protect.
Did the Iron Shreds protect? It did.
So he has 1 turn to at least get started, or possibly feign it if he decides to do the
protect from Dondozo.
But Dondozo can do the actual protect next time around and take increased advantage of the leftovers item. Yeah, I guess the Grimmsnarl could.
And the Reflect is gone.
Yeah. So the Grimmsnarl, yeah, no, I think he's in right now in order to set up Reflect, and just I think Enrique is willing to sacrifice Grimmsnarl if he gets the double Reflect light screen set up in once.
I don't think you need I don't think you need light screen anymore thanks to the Iron Valley and the Shiyu going down for Brandon.
Oh, they're just not going to be hitting physically?
Yeah, because Iron Valley is a mixed attacker and Shiyu's purely special.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this is like what Enrique should have done like earlier. It's like, how did it take a lucky game for game 2 to get this far?
I mean, you could also say Brandon might have overthought it. He just couldn't take advantage of his speed. He was able to the way in game 1.
There's the Earthquake. Not going to affect the Chien-Pao thanks to the flying side, but how much damage is this doing to both Pokemon?
Not that much. Wow. And the order up. Okay, 1 more order up. He has no drawbacks from using order up, right?
No drawbacks. The only is a benefit if Tatsugiri is in its mouth, which he did not bring to Tatsugiri. Light screen's gone, but that's likely not going to matter.
Yeah.
I could see Grimmsnarl now just spamming foul play for the rest of the game.
Oh, because the opposing.
Yeah, because Chien-Pao and Iron Shreds attack is pretty high.
Gotcha.
They're physical attackers.
While the Grimmsnarl is still alive, too, especially with the way that order up is mostly just chipping away at Chien-Pao's health. That could be the 1-2 punch that Enrique needs to take care of the kitty this turn.
Dondozo protects, even though the Chien-Pao protected too. I wonder if he predicted the foul play to go that way. Grimmsnarl going to taunt. They're going to make sure that the Iron Shreds can't protect for 3 turns.
That does possibly incur an Earthquake.
It is Earthquake coming out from the Iron Shreds.
Let's see if Grimmsnarl can survive it.
We're going to find out soon enough. As soon as these protects go through, here's the Earthquake. Into the Grimmsnarl. It is not enough.
Wow, that is brutal.
However, it is paraded as Chien-Pao. But at this, it's like, I don't know. This Iron Shreds, it's getting weaker and weaker. It's like as soon as this Chien-Pao leaves the field, it could be game over.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was a 2v3 situation at that point, right?
2v4.
Oh my gosh, yeah, this is looking grim for Brandon.
This is like
and Brandon's considered one of the favorites to win today, right?
He was one of the favorites, but I'm sorry, I still can't get that game 2 out of my head.
It was a very, very fluky game.
Here's the Rotom coming in for the Grimmsnarl for Enrique. Still very decent HP. Here's the Sucker Punch into the Dondozo. Not enough.
It feels like Brandon's just like flailing around trying to figure out a strategy here.
This Earthquake should be enough to take out the Dondozo, though.
Yep, just enough.
So now we're down to a Grimmsnarl at very low HP and I think Iron Hands at 50% health.
And then we still have the Tatsugiri at full health.
No, Tatsugiri's fainted.
Oh,
Tatsugiri wasn't even here.
Oh, my bad.
So so Dondozo fainted. Iron Hands. I always had to assume Iron Hands goes for fake out onto the Iron Shreds because it can't protect thanks to the taunt.
Oh man, that's true.
Because taunt forces the Pokemon afflicted by it to only attack.
Yep. For 3 turns. This is the 3rd turn, I think.
Oh, fakes out the Chien-Pao instead. Oh, almost a knockout.
Oh, and he got the flinch too.
No, fake out always flinches.
Oh yeah.
Stopping tension onto the Iron Hands.
Not enough for the. Oh, that is.
There's the overheat into the Iron Shreds. It's enough for a 1-hit knockout. This Chien-Pao is just staring down a 3v1 situation.
And it doesn't matter, all the speed in the world can't escape you from getting jumped. And that's what's gonna happen in this 2v1. You can take out the Iron
there's
Hand.
a forfeit!
Wow, yeah, that's a brutal state of play, and great job by Enrique to pull off the upset.
That I don't know how Enrique pulled this off. He pulled out the miracle game 2 and then completely takes advantage of the opportunity, wins game 3 off the back of the light screen, reflect from the grim stat that he should have brought in a lot earlier in our opinions, but either way he got it done.
I mean, what's really cool about that is we saw like 2 very quintessential ways to play the game: set play and just maneuvering around, and Enrique's ability to just roll with the punches and adapt to what Brandon wanted to do was wild. And Brandon just went full bore with that speed strategy, and it just didn't pay out. It's crazy.
I mean, it paid out game 1, but Enrique adapted. Like, I still am flabbergasted. I'm sorry, guys.
Sometimes you just need a little luck. You just need a little luck in order to beat this game. So.
Yeah, we're going to take a break here. We need to rest our voices once again after that game 3. We're going to be right back.
Stick around. Also, subscribe and follow the channel.